Welcome back. You have been watching your program Bridges, and we are joined by Dr. Harbert. I'm struggling with the last name.
Rampersad.
Rampersad. Dr. Harbert, let's finish your point, which is motivating the employees to improve the productivity.
Yes, this is Khaled, this is a hot item globally. Microsoft, IBM, Ford Motor Company, Google, they are all trying to invest in people now. They have seen that you cannot manage your business in an old-fashioned anymore, just giving order. You cannot create an atmosphere of fear. It should be an atmosphere of trust. The key word is now, how do you create trust in a company? And that is what I focus on. And that trust you will create if your personal value will be aligned with the corporate, and how do you do the whole process? Again, if you can see on the screen, you can see the model. It's a step-by-step approach. It's a very engineering approach, because I'm an engineer. I want to make everything measurable. I hate cloudy things. It should be measurable, authentic, holistic, and it should be concrete. And that is what I am launching here. Again, a system to align your personal values, your personal objective with the corporate. And it is a lot of coaching, a lot of guidance, listening, respect. So that means you need to have a different way of leadership. Okay, we'll talk about global leadership later, but you need a different way of leading and guiding and coaching people. I have a coaching system, how to coach them, and you see results in 2 months, not in 2 years or 20 years. You see, because it is measurable. So that means, again, you need to start with them, coaching them, guiding them, get them on track. Also the leaders, start with the leaders, with executives, and then you translate it to the corporate, and then you do the alignment, the last step, matching. Because the reason why people are not happy and engaged is globally is because people's own ambition is not in line with the corporate. And you cannot keep them there just with money. Money cannot be the glue to keep you on board, because then it's not sustainable. And by the way, Khaled, this concept fits to your culture, your Arabic culture. It's just like in Brazil. In Brazil, you see, they focus more on people. It's more on emotions, passion, emotional intelligence, values. That's why you see many concepts copied from US and UK dropped here in Saudi Arabia. Doesn't work. You can check why. Because it doesn't fit to your culture. And your culture is also just like in Brazil. It is about values, emotion, passion. And that means you need to embed that in this strategy, in the system. Then it will be sustainable. I delivered a workshop for Al Faisal MBA students about sustainable change in this corporate change and cultural change.
You speaking very broadly and generally. We need examples.
Yeah.
We need some, let's say, focused points that bosses, CEOs can take to motivate their Or are you going to charge for that?
No.
Just give us some, not all.
Look, I've given you the process. Look, I can give examples here, but it's not wise to mention names. But again,
no names. I mean.
No names. So look, I have experienced many companies. For example, let's say an example in Holland. People did not trust, they did not communicate with executives. Executives, very arrogant, don't communicate, don't respect, don't care. So that's why you got a culture of fear and distrust. And where there is fear and distrust, there is no learning. You will not create a learning organization. And that's why the productivity there was very low, the workforce productivity. What I did is, I started with the executives. I started with the top CEO to coach him, to guide him, to make him aware about himself. Many CEOs and top executives, they are not aware about themselves, no self-knowledge, and that's why no self-learning. It starts with that. So I started with the company with the change in the top to make them aware about ethical leadership, global leadership with a global mindset. And then cascaded, translated that on all levels, on department level, trained the managers, the middle managers, how to coach and guide their employees, and then also went to translate that into the talent management process, because that should be embedded. That new way of life should be embedded in an effective talent management. That means you need to coach also the employees with that. So it is a top-down approach, but also a bottom-up. Starts with the top, self-awareness, leadership development, coaching, and cascading. At the same time, you should also do that for your corporate strategy. So start with the corporate, let's say the corporate balance scorecard in my way. So and then you translate that, cascading at that on level till the talent management, the HR system. So in that way, you will create a culture of trust, a culture of performance. And by the way, on all levels, you do the alignment. You do the matching your values, your objective with the corporate objective. And that's the role of leaders. Leaders, managers, executives, they have a new role now. You cannot manage your business in old fashion anymore if you want to make more money, to have a higher performance. You need to have the ability and the skills to listen, to coach, to guide, to respect. And that way you will get the sustainable change. Because the culture of a company is being affected by the performance and the skills and the behavior of a leader. That's why I always start with a leadership program. And I have a leadership program for that. And that is measurable. We start with the values, we start with the dreams. If you dream big, you become big. If you dream small, you stay small. So it starts with that, and then make it a reality with a personal balance scorecard system which I have developed. They manage themselves like a business with that system. And you will see that you will be more result-oriented, you will be managing your time, you will be more proactive, and you will have plenty time for other things, and you will create also work-life balance. Because if you are a workaholic and if you are not a good father, you cannot be a good manager. So your private life, home, should be in balance. You have one life, it should be managed your whole life. So it should be a holistic approach. And then you will see results in your company, but also in your private life, because it's one.
Interesting. Now, how about you mentioned the cultural aspect of solutions. Obviously, is a management solution in Brazil, Sao Paulo does not fit maybe one in Washington DC or Riyadh for this matter.
Yes.
Now, how important is for you as an international speaker to know a little more about different cultures? Though you have a unique actually mix. I mean, you were born in South America. You're Dutch citizen now. You have a Pakistani wife, as I understand. So a very actually very interesting mosaic.
Yes, I live in America. I also am I'm professor also in Russia, and I have students in Pakistan, in Kazakhstan, in Singapore, in China. So the world is small now.
You're all over. But I mean, do you, once during your stay, do you get to learn about the culture?
Yes.
Do, for example, the officials at companies or governments share with you some cultural, let's say, alerts, so you become aware of them?
Yes, yes, very important. Look, before I came here, I went here 3 times now. I know the culture here. I went also to the mosque, and I read also the Holy Quran many times. I got the English version, and I see that it fits. My system fits here in the culture, because I start with, if you want to change your company, start with yourself. That means you need to change what is in your heart. If you need to change yourself first before you change your company. So that's why I start with the process of self-reflection and personal change, and then translate that in all levels. If I compare again, if I see the culture here, it is more about values, it's more about passion, it's more about emotional intelligence than only only the left side of your brains, and the left side is about figures, about but the right side is about values, emotions, and it's about creativity. So you need to balance both, and that's why it's fit to the culture here, because here it is the people aspect is very important. Otherwise, it will fail. And again, right now, especially big companies, they should have leaders with a global mindset to handle the complexity, because the world is complex now. Especially a company like Sabic, operating globally, the manager should have a global mindset. That means they need to know the culture. They need to manage themselves like a business. They need to be aware about themselves. The self-reflection is very important. And manage yourself like a business. Become a strong brand. And that means you need to make the emotional connection with the people and your clients. And how do you make the emotional connection? You make the emotional connection if you are a strong personal brand based on your self-knowledge and your values. And then how to communicate effectively with the community. That means also you need to, Khalid, I have launched a learning cycle for that. After you have developed your ambition, you need to make it a reality. That means you need to manage yourself. And that cycle is plan, deploy, act, challenge. You need to take a new challenge. So plan your life, and then you have deploy, start small, improve yourself, learn about the society, learn about the different cultures and the behaviors and the customer. And then the next step is make it act. That means take the responsibility to change. You should take the responsibility. Don't wait for others. So change. So be committed to change your life. So that means in that stage you need to learn a lot about the cultures in the different countries. Before I go to a country, I know about, hey, what is the behavior, what is the cultures and the laws and all these things. And the last step in that cycle is challenge. You need to take a new challenge after you have realized that, because life is a challenge, a step-by-step increase of awareness, happiness, creativity, and then you will become in flow. Flow is a situation where everything will go automatically good. So that's the process, and the cultural aspect, what you just mentioned, is very important. Otherwise, it will fail. That's why you see so many management concepts failed completely here because of the cultural aspect.
Interesting. Now, Doctor, I think we have one more report, Badr. Can we watch it, Abdul Malik? Okay, we'll watch the report. I will be back. Stay with us. You have been watching your program, Bridges.
Your personal brand should emerge from your search for your identity and meaning in life. The more you strengthen and cultivate your corporate brand, the more successful your company will be.
employee behavior, the result will be improved personal intelligence and strength.
Welcome back. I've been watching your program Bridges, and we are watching, actually we're joined by Dr. Harbert. Dr. Harbert, let's talk a little bit about the family business. Obviously it's a big thing in the Middle East because of, let's say, the culture again and the social life in the Middle East, and particularly in the Arab world. We do have many business that is run by family members, but after the dean, or let's say the big figure of the family dies, we do have issues. Sometimes the business would suffer, and at the end of the day it may just disappear. What is your, maybe some of the your thoughts? And
Yes, I have developed a new program for that. Is how to enhance the performance and the continuity of family business, because we have seen here in the Gulf about 83% of companies here are family businesses, and if you take a look at Saudi Arabia, their impact on the GDP here is about I think 22 to 30%. So family businesses are very important for the economy of Saudi Arabia. And yes, you're right. What I have seen, based also on my research, is that many family companies, they have not many, but they are family companies who have issues, problems about their continuity, because if the founder dies, and then the siblings, they have problems and fighting, and so I came with a program to create that environment of harmony and environment of trust and engagement. And by the way, there is also another problem with family companies. You see that the second, almost I think 40%, I think, are being run by the second generation, and almost 8%, I believe, or 18 by the third generation, and the fourth generation is actually not interested to run the company. So you have a succession problem also. So what is my solution for this? What is my system, what I have developed for this? And that's what I partly discussed already in this show, is why don't we have a family ambition, family charter, family ambition, define that. So you have three elements. You have the family ambition, your family mission, vision, and core values, and the family business with the same thing for the company, for the family companies. And the third one here is the family member ambition. And then you align all these three. If you align this, the family charter, the family ambition with the family business ambition, and with the family member, individual member ambition, you have three alignments, and then you will see, you will create that environment of trust, that environment of harmony, the environment of love, and the environment of more integrity. And then you will see, you will bring them together. And if you coach let's say the fourth generation with the system, the coaching system I've just discussed, coach them, make them aware about that, and then you will see you can empower them to stay in the business and take over. So that is what I have, and it's a very major issue here in Saudi, but also in the Gulf, but it's a main issue here. And I think I have a very good solution for this, to strengthen the competitiveness and the continuity of family businesses. It's very important for the Saudi economy, and it starts. If you want to make it sustainable, to want to change sustainable, then you should do it in this way with the three alignments. And I would love to share that with people who are interested, because it will help.
Interesting. How about entrepreneurship? We have actually a conference that's coming up this coming Sunday in Riyadh,
Yeah.
by Glow Work, about basically helping females here in the kingdom to find a job and connect them with the employers.
By the way, my workshop at Al Faisal University, but also last year at Qasim University, we had also many females there, and they love the program, especially for females, how to develop female entrepreneurial leadership. If you want to become a strong, successful businesswoman, it starts with your dreams and your values. It starts with your vision. It starts with communicating with that effectively. It starts also with position yourself strongly, just like Oprah Winfrey. It started with her dream, female empowerment, about 40 years ago, and then communicating that effectively and position yourself strongly, and not on social media. It's not only having a nice account on Twitter and then you are a strong brand. It's more than that. It starts with your dream. It starts with translating your dream into action. Communicate yourself, position yourself strongly, and main thing in this process is how to focus in life. You need to focus. You need to specialize yourself and become the best in your field. Try to become the best in your field. And then position yourself strongly. And that is the authentic personal branding concept which I've launched. And actually, almost 60-70% of my clients are females abroad. They love the program. You see them change. You see them make more money. You see them become more successful. Because especially for females, they need to be more, self-trust. They need to develop their self-trust. They need to be more proactive. They need to position themselves, and they need to communicate effectively. And that system, especially for females, very, very important to become a successful businesswoman. And entrepreneurship starts with that. An entrepreneur means a successful entrepreneur has a dream, take risk, has passion, has guts. And all these ingredients make you a strong, successful entrepreneur. But the main thing is you start with a big dream, and you will become big if the dream is big.
Now, a lot of let's say, especially here within our region, the entrepreneurs, they always think of and I've heard this actually in many discussions, the last competitiveness forum that was held in Riyadh last January. They always think of getting a loan to start their entrepreneurship program. Loan is fine, but it's not always the solution. I have actually a personal experience of my own.
You have a loan. What if you get the big loan and then the company is bankrupt?
Exactly.
So it starts with that big dream. You need to make it concrete. You need to make it measurable, and then you need to develop yourself, because if you need to have clients. That means you need to communicate effectively with your clients. You need to know about how to manage your people, how to manage launch your new product, how to design your product, how to sell it, how to manage their business. So many things are important, but the main thing is it starts with a vision, a strong vision, and what I'm doing is I'm helping executives to define the mission, to redefine themselves, define the mission, and make that vision a reality, translate it in strategies, and how to implement the strategy. It's not only taking a loan. This is just one small element in the implementation of your strategy.
With these words, Dr. Harbert, we are coming to the end of the program. Dr. Harbert Rampersad, thank you very much for joining us.
Assalamu alaikum again for the audience, and thank you for having me.
We'd like also to thank Mr. Abdul Malik Al-Asiri, the main producer of the program, also the director of the program, Badr Al-Anazi. Till meet again, have a good and a pleasant time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.